Now, landing a remote job is not an easy feat. It is not for the faint at heart, and I say that with the love in my heart. Granted, currently, globally, we have 16% of the companies working remotely full-time. So that means they don't have any offices. But we are also seeing an increase in the demand for remote work, and the forecast has it that by 2030, over 30% of the working population will be working remotely. And the lazy girl era is adding on to that fuel, which is really good. So what that then means is that competition is fierce, and if you don't have your UVA, that is your user value addition, or in simple terms, how you plan on saving or making money for the company that will be hiring you, figure it all out, then it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to land a remote job. And for that reason, today's video is all about the do's and don'ts of remote work. Yes, I can't be over here sharing with you the opportunities that are hiring globally, in the EMEA time zone and in Africa. But if you don't know how to position yourself for a remote opening or the work environment, you're simply wasting your time. Now, if you're new here, welcome to our community of remote work enthusiasts. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Before we dive into this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and do let me know in the comment section what you're struggling with when it comes to landing a remote job. Let's get started, shall we? It is my belief that if you wanted to land a remote job, you can easily do so within the first 3 months of you starting to send out your applications. And the reason why I say that is because even as you're sending out your applications, my advice to people is that you do need to send at least 3 applications in a day, because it's a game of numbers. Remember, you're not the only person that is qualified for these opportunities. There are hundreds, if not thousands of people who are just as qualified or even more qualified than your application. So for that reason, you do need to increase your chances by sending out as many applications as possible. And on that note, we already have a number of our followers who are already being placed in remote jobs, and some who are actually going through the interview process. So it is possible. Is it easy? No. Is it doable? Yes. With the right amount of determination and effort, you can land a remote job. Which takes me to my very first point. When you're seeking out remote opportunities, you do not want to sleep on the remote first companies or remote friendly companies. And with that, I mean some companies will actually post remote opportunities, but they are hybrid, or you'll be required to go into the office a few days in a week, and that means you are limited in terms of your geographical location. So you want to avoid those companies and focus on the remote first companies. If you need more information on the remote first companies, I want you to head on over to my Instagram page. I have listed a number of remote first companies on one of my highlights. Check them out and send in your application. And as you're doing that, even as you're researching the remote first companies or the remote friendly companies, it is prudent that you research the company's culture and values, because remember, they are looking to hire you, but you're also interviewing them just to check if your values are aligned with the company's values and whether you'd be a great fit for that company. Which then takes me to my next point, which is customizing your application for every remote opportunity that you send your application to. The best way to go around this is by identifying which career path you want to get into, which department you want to get into, which roles you want to target. So for example, if you're a marketer and you decide that you want to pursue your career in digital marketing, how I would go about it is that I would curate my resume to demonstrate that I've got digital marketing experience. So do that with your CV and cover letter, and self-motivation and your ability to work independently. So even as you're doing points 1 to 4, curating your CV, researching remote friendly companies, etc., you need to send out your applications using an ATS friendly resume. And perhaps this should have been like pointer number 1 as a remote work do. ATS friendly resumes is not negotiable. You need to have an ATS friendly resume so that you can bypass the system and get shortlisted for the opportunities that you're sending your applications to. So if you're trying to figure out what is an ATS is an applicant tracking system that most companies use to shortlist the applications that they get for a particular job. If you need help with revamping your CV, I do that. If not, you want to watch my free videos. They are posted on TikTok as well as Instagram. Which takes me to my next point. Typically, an ATS-friendly resume has a certain format, and within that format, there is a skills segment. These are some of the skills that recruiters look out for when they're hiring remotely. 1. Communication skills. 2. Presentation skills. 3. Creative thinking and problem-solving skills. 4. Agile thinking. 5. Cross-cultural collaboration. These 5 skills are some of the most sought after skills in the remote work environment because they do play a part in the day-to-day of a remote company. So if you don't have those skills, and majorly they're soft skills that can be learned, I want you to head on over to Coursera, Allison, Google Analytics, LinkedIn Learning, and register for a course. Take a course. It can be 5 hours, 10 hours, a free course nonetheless, and equip yourself with those skills. Now, let's go to remote don'ts. Number 1, don't use a VPN, because by the time the company is recruiting for, say, in the EMEA time zone, LATAM time zone, America's time zone, they actually want a candidate to be working in their daytime and in that particular time zone. So it will be really unfortunate for you to have gone through the interview process, landed a job, only to get fired because you're not in the time zone they require you to be at. So that is a no-no. Don't use a VPN. Instead, focus your search in the time zone that you are situated in. So if you're in Africa, you can check out EMEA, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. You can also check out global opportunities or worldwide opportunities, those that allow you to work from literally anywhere in the world. They don't have any geographical restriction. And you can also check out the opportunities that are hiring in Africa. Our number 2 don't is you need to prepare for your interview. Interview prep is something that most people actually sleep on, and it's so unfortunate. If there's anything that you want to invest in, is number 1, an ATS-friendly resume, and number 2, interview prep. Those 2 are your key getaways to a remote job. The 3rd don't is don't procrastinate sending your application. Remote opportunities come and go really quickly, so don't sleep on it. When you see an opportunity that you like, send your application immediately. And lastly, don't treat regret as now your remote work journey is over. You're bound to get several regrets, and use that as a feedback opportunity to you. What are you doing right? What are you not doing correctly? And re-strategize your application process. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this, comment down below and let me know how else are you struggling with a remote work journey. I hope to see you in the next one.